And we're back. Yep, it's time for what is usually the most boring race of the calendar. And yeah, there's pretty much nothing else to be said other than see you after qualifying. Well, that was terrible. So, okay, we're gonna do 2 stops this time. So, yeah, 15th on the grid. Alright. Oh, shit. There you go. 2 lights. 3 lights. 4. 5. And we're off for Barcelona. And we immediately go on the attack of Johnny Herbert on the inside, as well as a lace. No, Johnny Herbert. As your break hard contact with a lazy, we go past Salo. And we go past Dennis to get into the points. Now we got the 2 Jordans of Hill and Ralph Schumacher. Up next. Ooh, okay, contact with Damon. But we go past the 96 champion as we go past Le Ralph. Next is Alex Warts. There we go. Okay, we're up to 7th. Next up is Villeneuve, our teammate. Hey, ooh, almost touched the gravel there. Shite, and they fucked up. And into the chicane, that of course it wasn't a thing back in 1998, but details. There we go. We take the draft from Villeneuve and we complete lap number 1. Thanks for the update there, Jeff. As no, Villeneuve goes in instead of Fisichella, but Fisichella shuts the door on him, and that allows us to go past. Now we're up to 6th. Okay. Now, as for the actual 1998 race, It was, I could say it was the McLaren show once again, but really it was the Häkkinen show. And the reason is Häkkinen put his car on pole position, and Coulthard was second behind him, 7/10 behind. And Michael Schumacher was third, 1.5 seconds behind Häkkinen. And of course, Häkkinen pretty much dominated the entire race. And yeah, pretty much. So essentially, nothing happened. Like, oh shit. So basically, nothing happened a la Barcelona. I mean, there's a good reason why they're actually going to race in Madrid for this year. Actually, I say this, but two things have happened that are noteworthy. Number one, both arrows DNF'd at the same time at the same place, right where they're battling each other. At the main straight, they had engine failure or gearbox failure. Basically, they both retired at the same time. And they were so close that the camera was able to catch them both DNF. The other thing is that Trulli got passed by Franzen for 8th place because the stewards thought that Franzen was a Ferrari, and they told them to and they waved the blue flags at Trulli. Needless to say, Jarno was not happy in the slightest, for obvious reasons, because he basically lost the position for no good reason. Okay, that's basically everything that happened at the Spanish Grand Prix. As for the San Marino Grand Prix, because I did check in the meantime, Irvine fast lap of the race, almost a full second behind on my best lap. As for San Marino Grand Prix, Coulthard actually won that race because Häkkinen retired due to gearbox failure, and McLaren acted like it was something that people shouldn't have seen, because it was something incredibly important had broken. Because the moment Häkkinen pulled into the pits to retire the car, they covered the garage. But without Häkkinen, it was still the MP4-13, so Coulthard still had the world in easy mode, so yeah, he won. And behind them were the Ferraris of Schumacher and Irvine. Okay, that was a bunch of super fucking terrible corners, holy shit. But yeah, still, 7/10 off of Coulthard, no wait, 7/10 from Coulthard, and 1.5 seconds from Schumacher in qualifying. But you know, they had the V10, so everything was right. Oh, and speaking of Madrid, turns out EA dropped some tidbits of information on the server, the Discord server reserved for the creators, the guys that actually, you know, work closely with EA, which of course I'm not part of it. So I actually had to watch the video from Alex Gillen to find out about this, and they talked about the 2026 DLC, and for this purposes is, even though it's a DLC, it's still supposed to be about the 2026 season, so physics will change, the cars will look different. Of course, we will have the new drivers. Of course, we will have new drivers. I mean, Bottas and Perez are returning. Of course, we'll have Audi and Cadillac, the new regulation changes, and updating the new updating tracks. and potentially adding Madrid, but yeah.
Data's showing that the car ahead is likely to be running in fuel conservation mode. His times will be slightly slower than normal.
We måste catch the fysikala.
Keep the tyres warm. Keep warming the tyres.
So yeah, even though it's going to be a DLC, it is still going to be about the 2026 season. So at least that's cool, at least. Also, he also in that video, I didn't finish it because of course I had to record. He mentioned about the reverse tracks, to which, in all fairness, I completely forgot they existed. But to understand fair, it's also true that I basically haven't touched that game since wrapping up career mode. So, yeah. In all fairness, I'm not sure if I even want to actually cover them at all, even for the third team, because there's really no reason to. Okay, that was stupid of me. Because there's really no reason to. So yeah, I'm not even going to. I guess I'll just forget the reverse track exists and just move on with my life. But in the meantime, as for my 1980 mod series, I scored because I'm also using the top 10 point system for that one, and I've gone for the second time in the points. So yeah, that's going pretty well. That's a voice crack.
There's some debris on your tyres. You'll struggle for grip until they clear.
Okay. Am I going to catch up to him? No, I think I'm too far to actually try. Or maybe not, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not, maybe not. Dive bomb! And there we go. Pre-2016 kicks in, we're through. The problem is that, yeah, the rest of the top four are just too far away. 7 seconds from Michael Schumacher. So I think that's where we're gonna plateau. Unless we end up like getting like some massive gains with the hard tires, but I doubt it. I mean, I say actually no. I'm pretty sure me taking the lead and just running away from Coulthard San Marino happened before taking the first stop. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't say that again.
Be aware, we think the car behind is trying to save fuel.
I should check also my fuel. Okay, it's not good. It's good. It's good. In the meantime, Irvine. Yeah. Honestly, it's just me, or there's always this thing of racing games, not just the EA games, but Formula 1 games in general, and licensed games in general, where the teammates that are supposed to suck or not be good, or at least, you know, not championship contenders, are championship contenders, and the ones that are actually supposed to be good are Not that great. I mean, right now, Irvine is just destroying Michael Schumacher, and there was also, I think it was, oh god, I don't remember actually. I can come up with some examples off the top of my head, but right now, Irvine is leading the race, and Michael Schumacher is out of the podium. Although it's also true that no, never mind. It wasn't Monaco that where he finished outside of the points and several laps down because he destroyed his front wing. Never mind.
The pit window is open. Box this lap.
There we go. The first.
Behind is dropping back. That should give you a little more breathing space.
Okay. So for the next race in the 1980 series on the other channel, I'm going to drive a track that I've been driven at in 13 plus 14 years. Of course, under different guys, but still, it's a track that I haven't touched in a very, very long time. And the hard part is that there's no preferred line, so yeah, that thing is going to be pretty hard. That race is pretty much going to be damage limitation mode, and that's basically it. In the meantime, into the pits we go. Somebody else is going to follow. Fisichella is. Villeneuve goes for another lap. So does Wurtz. Or no, that was, and of course I had to let Ralf Schumacher pass. There we go. We are down in 8th. Now to 9. Now still in 8th. Fisichella is right behind us.
There's some traffic at the pit exit. Watch out as you rejoin the track.
Oh, okay, there we go. They're coming. It's Jos the boss. Who, yeah, at the time was still.
You set a prime tyres on. You only have to stop once now. One stop left.
Who, by this point, it was still Jan Magnussen, and it wouldn't be Verstappen until after the Canadian Grand Prix.
We think the car behind is running on full revs. He's trying to close the gap.
Yes, I'm aware of the irony that of the. Well, no, not exactly. Okay, so Michael Schumacher has Mick Schumacher, and he was mostly more known for smashing the cars. Ralf Schumacher has David Schumacher, and he amounted to absolutely goddamn nothing.
2 seconds down on you. He might try and overtake if you make a mistake.
Then what? Of course, Max Verstappen, 4 times champion, so he definitely had a much more successful career than his dad had. Kevin Magnussen lasted more years in Formula 1 than Jan did. Kevin lasted many more years than Jan did, so that's also more successful. Then what? I think that's... Barrichello is still racing in Argentina. Brazil, I think. I don't know if he actually took part in any starts in Formula 3 or Formula 2 last year. So, I have no idea, but I'm pretty sure he's still racing in Brazil. In the meantime, we're back to 5th. Then, I don't think... Then everybody else does not have any sons that race, I think. So, basically... Only, what, 5, I want to say? Of the 5, no wait, okay, Michael, Ralph, Verstappen, Magnussen. Of the 4 drivers that had sons that were either in raced in Formula 1 or were in the Formula 1 pyramid. Oh, fucking Giuliano Alesi. I forgot about Alesi. Okay, that's 5 because John Alesi only got to F2 and that was basically it. Yeah, his career also amounted to basically nothing. So it's 5 drivers who have had sons that have raced in Formula 1 or have been in the Formula 1 pyramid, and only 2 of them amounted to have had more successful careers than their fathers. I completely fucking forgot about goddamn Alesi. Of course, Eduardo, and of course, Eduardo, as I said, hasn't, as far as I know, still hasn't raced, still hasn't done anything in the Formula 1 pyramid as of now. And in all fairness, I don't know I don't even know if they announced the lineups for Formula 2 and Formula 3 for next year. So yeah, we're gonna exclude Eduardo Barrichello. But yeah, 5 sons: Mick Schumacher, David Schumacher, Max Verstappen, Kevin Magnussen, and Giuliano Alesi. Only 2 of these guys actually matter to something in Formula 1. Hey, shit. Okay. What next? I mean, there's all. I mean, I know somebody's gonna mention. Yeah, what about Sebastian Montoya? Well, right now Montoya is now he's still racing in. Well, he's not even in kart in 1998. He's still racing in 1999 in kart. So yeah, he's not even racing in America at this point. I'm pretty sure he's still racing. I have actually no idea where he was racing before 1999, but still, he's still not a. In the eyes of Frank Williams. I mean, this is still... okay. But I think that's all... Actually, I think that's... of all the Formula 1 drivers, I mean... And also, I know somebody's going to mention, well, Damon Hill is the son of Graham Hill. He was the Formula 1 World Champion. I mean, of the Formula 1 drivers that are on the grid right now that had sons that have raced in Formula 1. Because of course, then we have to count, actual sons and sons pairings. I mean, Verstappen will still be the most successful one because for championships. But of course, there will be Damon Hill, who won. It was the son of Graham and won the 1996 championship. Nico Rosberg is the son of Keke, and both a championship apiece. Nico Prost, who's the son of Alain, never counted to anything. Yeah, I don't think he actually ever raced in Formula 1. So there's that too. He wasn't even oh god. I don't think he even was a test driver for any team. And of course, now we got Colton Herta for next year as the 3rd driver for Cadillac, who is the son of Brian Herta. But again, Brian never raced in Formula 1. There we go. When we're supposed to pit again? Oh, lap 21, so we're pretty close. But yeah. So we'll be Verstappen, Hill, Rosberg, of course, all the guys that I just mentioned, and that's all of it, I want to say. That I can think of at the top of my head. I mean, okay, Jules Bianchi was the grandson of Lucien Bianchi, so technically it doesn't count. But still. Okay, 50 seconds from Schumacher, but whatever, doesn't really matter. We'll have to hope for a... of course, the biggest worry is Monaco up next, so... yeah, that's the race I'm most worried about. Once that is done, if we actually... I want to say that if we get out of Monaco with a good result, if anyone win, I might actually have to consider myself a favorite for the championship. But yeah, oh fuck, I can't think of. At least in Formula 1 I can think of. Okay. There we go. There we go. Oh fuck, Roy Nissany. Yeah, that's another son of Formula 1 driver. Technically, Charles Nissany basically managed to weasel out a ride for Minardi 2005, and as of right now, he's the only Israeli driver to race in Formula 1, and he was like 45 or something like that. And the dude was not even a professional driver. The guy was just one dude on the company that Minardi that was sponsoring Minardi, and he said, "Hey, at least can I drive your car for at least one race, for at least one free practice sessions, practice session," and they did. And of course, Roy Nissany was his son, and I don't believe he even races in the Formula 1 pyramid anymore. I mean, if he does. Then it, actually, I don't think he even has a dual citizenship. I mean, I say this, but it's not like Mazepin raced as a neutral athlete when he was racing. Still, or that Robert Schwartzman is racing with an Israeli passport as an Israeli national because of the ban of Russian any kind of world championships. But still, I'm pretty sure Nissany doesn't race in the Formula 1 period anymore. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. And of course, Jacques Villeneuve is the son of Gilles Villeneuve, so he's also another championship. Okay, to quickly recap, so basically in terms of nepotism, former nepotism, Verstappen is absolutely the best one for championships. Then we got Nico Rosberg, Damon Hill, Jacques Villeneuve. Did I mention Damon Hill? I think I did. With one championship, and Nico Rosberg with one championship apiece, and everybody else are nothing, basically. And everybody else pretty much nothing. But in the meantime, okay, next lap we're going into the pits. And actually, Irvine leading is actually a bad thing because he's running on my road for the championship at this point. So, oh boy. Actually, no. I mean, I could potentially add Color Rompera, because he decided to abandon rally and focus on Formula racing because he wants to go to Formula 1. But at the same time, it doesn't count because his dad was never a Formula 1 driver. He was way more successful than his father was. I mean, Harry Rompera only won one rally, and it was the Rally Sweden in 2001 in the famous season that nobody wanted to win, and that Richard Burns won. Okay. Okay, I cannot say that like this because the man died. Actually, last year was the 20th anniversary since his passing. Come to think of it. But let's just say that he was won by Richard Burns, but mostly because okay, he was at the right place at the right time, and of course he won with a clutch performance. He won a Rally New Zealand, which, as we all know, that ended up being the rally that won the championship. But that's mostly because everybody else just was super goddamn inconsistent that season, and I mean everybody. Colin McRae DNF'd out of 3 consecutive rallies before winning 3 in a row. Tommy Mäkinen was unstoppable for the first 3 rallies in which McRae didn't finish and then hit a brick wall. Sainz was absolutely goddamn nowhere. Marcos Gronholm, before going on a tear and winning Peugeot the constructor's title, the manufacturer's title, he finished only 1 rally out of 7/8, and that was in Portugal. After winning the 2000, after pretty much dominating the season in 2000, by the way. In the meantime, into the pits we go. And Villeneuve is going to continue for 1 more lap. So Williams decides to avoid the double stack. But yeah. Well, Harry Rompera only won 1 rally in 2001, and Cal is a 2-time champion and the youngest rally champion ever. So it doesn't really count in Formula nepotism. But still. Oh, and also forgot that Mäkinen also had that crash at the rally at the Tour de Corse, where effectively he lost his the co-driver he won the 1998-1999 with. So basically, the end of 2001 was actually pretty traumatic for Mäkinen. Come to think of it. There we go. And did as well as he did at the Rally Australia with a new co-driver, purely because he was actually that good. Because the co-driver was just stupid. Because the co-driver was just incompetent. because because Mitsubishi messed up the choice of co-driver. Well, I'm not gonna say incompetent because guess what? I should try doing that shit myself and see how hard it is. What I meant was not useful at all to Mäkinen. Then okay. So we pretty much have 5th place on lockdown, essentially. As long as you don't screw up and keep Villeneuve at bay, 5th is guaranteed. Which, again, more points, so I don't mind. And of course, the biggest test is gonna be at Monaco, tomorrow. Hey. And, ooh, best lap, nice. There we go. Speaking of drivers, they probably should have won a little bit more. Of course. Speaking of drivers, they should have won a little bit more in terms of rallying. I mean, Marcus Gronholm. The poor dude is... what can I say? Is the equivalent of Jan Ulrich at the times of Lance Armstrong in terms of rallying. Now, I know that's a fucked up comparison to make, especially considering both guys were not clean in the slightest. But basically, Gronholm suffered the Loeb era through and through. The early days of the Loeb era through and through. But again, so did a lot of people in recent fair. I mean, Latvala suffered the era of Seb Ogier. I mean, Latvala, there's also... Latvala and Thierry Neuville also suffered the days of full-time Seb Ogier. Until he actually won the season, until he actually won the championship 2 years ago. Even though, considering how this year went, it was probably thanks to the fact of that weird ass system they used in 2024 that won the championship. But yeah, nobody suffered more than Loeb than Gronholm, basically. I mean, if it wasn't for Loeb, I'm pretty sure he would have gotten like 4 titles by now. Like more than 2, at least definitely more than 2 titles. I don't know, maybe would have won 2007 would have been his. 2007 would have been his if Loeb wasn't there. Maybe 2006 if Loeb wasn't there, or at least he would have been a 4-time champion if Loeb wasn't there. Same thing for Latvala. If Ogier wasn't there, well, part of the rally would be a little bit more healthy than it is right now, but still, hey. Not probably. The rally would definitely be way more healthier than it currently is, but still. Latvala, I'm pretty sure would have been a multiple times champion for sure. Then what? There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of drivers that really suffer the Loeb era, the era of the Sebs. Another driver that actually has suffered another Frenchman called Sebastian is Paul Tracy. That guy had to suffer prime Sebastian Bourdais in Champ Car. There we go.
traffic ahead. Stay alert.
In the meantime, that's a lapped car. Yeah, that's a lapped car. No, wait, no, that's fucking Schumacher. That's a lapped car. Because apparently, if your name is Sebastian, you have a chance of succeeding in motorsports. Because, okay, Sebastian Vettel, 3 times champion. No. With 2010, 2011, 2012, 2014, no, 4 times champion. There's a Tyrrell. I have no idea who that one is. I'm gonna assume Rosset. By legacy. Ooh! Shit, I forgot to mention. This was the first race that Rosset did not qualify for. Actually, one of the 5 races that Rosset did not qualify for. Although it can be sort of justified because, you know, of the stupid monster time that Villeneuve did. Villeneuve, you idiot, Hakkinen did, but yeah, this is the first D&Q of 5 for Rosset. That's the other thing that the remarkable thing that happened is that Rosset D&Q'd. And I'm pretty sure he was the first D&Q in Formula 1 since both Mastercard Lolas didn't qualify. Which actually, he also was driving for. So, whoops. Yeah, that's truly. And thanks for that, Yarno. And actually, if you're speaking about drivers that should have a lot more success, yeah, truly should really have won more than 1 race. The poor guy just suffered a lot of bullshit. Okay, you could say that the guy wasn't very good, but to be fair, he wasn't exactly driving like good cars. In '97, he was driving a Minardi. Then of course he was called by Prost to replace Panis, who was actually doing pretty well. And then yeah, that crash in Canada happened. Then he was stuck. Then he was retained for 1998 when Prost adopted Peugeot engines, and of course the car sucked. I don't remember. We was in 1999, I believe. He was still at Prost, I think, in 1999. Hey. In 2000 with Jordan, and by that point all the momentum they had in 2000 was just... In 2000 he went to Jordan, and yeah, by... all the momentum that Jordan had in 1999 was completely gone. And he was also in 2001 in Jordan. Then he went to Renault in 2002, I believe. He went to run in 2002, and of course that was the point. A certain Fernando Alonso came into the scene. Then of course he had Alonso's teammate in 2003, and then, well, we all know what happened. Then he went over to Toyota, and also, yeah, that did not work. So yeah, Trulli was basically stuck driving mid-machinery. And the only time where said mid-machinery actually started being good, he was gone. So, yeah. There we go. I don't remember where he was in 1999. Was it with Prost? I think it was. Because yeah, it was. It should have been with Prost. Yeah, it was with Prost because Jordan was still Damon Hill and Ansel Franzen in 1999. And of course, with that, Franzen almost was fighting for the championship. speaking of that, a lot of people say that maybe he would have been a champion in 1999 if he didn't completely fuck up with the anti-stall at the Nürburgring. But it's also true that he wasn't particularly fast in Malaysia, and in Japan he also struggled. So even if nothing happened and he had won the race, I doubt Frentzen would have come out of 1999 with the trophy. There we go. Although that would definitely be a fun thing to do for once we tackle 1999, if the wheel decides that our team for 1999 is gonna be Jordan. That would be fun to do. Doing what Frentzen couldn't. Yeah, I guess another fun adventure would also be BAR, because for fantasy purposes, the first BAR wasn't a bad car. It was a decent car, and Villeneuve was actually doing some good stuff with it. The problem is that that thing just fucking sucked. I mean, the engine just... I mean, the car was good, but good god, in terms of reliability, it was a piece of shit. But yeah. Actually, if I'm pretty sure BR would actually score some points if they still had if Formula One actually had the current point system with the top 10s. But yeah, still would have been nowhere near the "we're going to win on debut" that the team said once they came into the circus. But still, a little bit better than the zero they had at the end, the zero at the end of the year, and the wall of purple retire texts on their Wikipedia page. Shit. There's Jack. There's Jack. But I'd rather actually have a good team instead of a trash team, because I'm already doing that with Coversucar / Fittipaldi in 1980, and I want to deal with that in 1999 too. So yeah. But in the meantime, I should focus on 1998 as we take. Actually, we don't take nothing because no white flags here from Formula 1. But in the meantime, one lap to go here at Barcelona. There we go. Yeah, pretty uneventful race all around, honestly. And again, the focus is on Monaco tomorrow. So let's see what kind of horror are going to wait for us then. As Eddie Irvine wins the Spanish Grand Prix. As we're about to approach the Minardis of Nakano and Tuero. There we go. Good boy, Shinji. That's what Masato said. But in the meantime, we're gonna pass Toero. But doesn't matter. We're going to finish. Actually, no. Nah, never mind. Never mind. We finish the Spanish Grand Prix in 5th.
That's a solid 5th place and 10 points. Good job.
And so Eddie Irvine wins the Spanish Grand Prix. 2nd is David Coulthard. 3rd is Mika Häkkinen. 4th is Michael Schumacher. We are 5th. Jacques Villeneuve is in 6th. Alex Wurz is 7th. Fisichella is in 8th. Hale in 9th. And Perugines runs up the top 10. So 2nd race in a row where at least an Arrows scores points. Then Jaron Trulli wins last car. And only 14 cars finished on the lead lap. And with that, see you at the championship tables. And with that, Eddie Irvine takes the lead of the championship. 3 points from me. And remember, this is 1998, not 1999. So, yeah. 3rd is David Coulthard. 10 points for Mika Häkkinen, but because Coulthard had the better results, he is in 3rd. Michael Schumacher is in 5th. Giancarlo Fisichella is in 6th. Villeneuve in 7th. Wurz is now up to 8th. Damon Hill drops down to 9th. Ralf Schumacher is in 10th. Mika Salo is in 11th. Peruginis now is up to 12th, tied with Takagi. And rounding up the point scorers is John Alesi, still with 1 point. And yeah, next up is Monaco. And as I stated, if we win that race, or at least have a good result there, I guess we can call ourselves the championship favorites. But yeah, this has been it for this video. If you liked it, give it a like. And if you see more content like this, subscribe and click notification bells to get the make sure it drops. And I have nothing else to say other than see you next video, everybody. This is Alpha, signing out.